Alrighty, welcome back to Triple Goddess Soapery. My name is Angela, and today we are going to be making gingerbread men. This is my second attempt at recording this. I got about halfway through and realized I didn't actually turn on the mic, so while I would have still had video or audio, it wouldn't have been very good. So anyway, second attempt. So we are starting off with my regular um, soap batter, my regular recipe. This is olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, shea butter, hemp seed oil, as well as castor oil. I also use kaolin clay and goat's milk powder in every single one of my soaps. And that is what I work with. I also believe I put sodium lactate in the water, but I might not have. I don't remember. It's not necessary. I like using it for molds like this because it makes the soaps easier to pop out, but it's entirely unnecessary. So now we have the danger water in there and we are just getting up to emulsification and then we'll be ready to pour. I am using a fragrance oil called Gingerbread from Windy Point Soap. It is the same fragrance oil that I used last year, and it has a high amount of vanillin in it, or vanillin, and it will turn your soap a very dark brown, which works perfectly for this recipe because it means I don't need to use any colorant at all, and it will come out nice and dark. And you will see at the end that they are quite dark, although they do actually get darker than that. Not a ton darker, but the color does even out. So, yeah, so it works out really well. Um, yeah, so we got the fragrance in there and we're just gonna make sure it's nice and mixed up. I will say that this is the first of two batches that I made of gingerbread men. I made 48 gingerbread men in total. And I forgot that this fragrance accelerates, which you will see. The second batch that I made, I ended up just stirring in the fragrance and then pouring, and that went a little better. Also, too, for the number of gingerbread men that I'm making, this is a 2 liter pitcher that I'm pouring this into to do my pour, and it's really not big enough. You should really use a bigger pitcher, and you'll see it does make a bit of a mess, but whatever, I get it done, so it's all good in the end. And like every soap maker on the planet, we have to scrape every single last drop of soap out before we're ready to go. The molds, in case you're interested, I believe came from Amazon, and I can go find them if you like and give you a link for those. I will try to do that. I could also put a link for like the fragrance oil and stuff, but I do believe most Canadian soap makers already know Windy Point soap very well. They are my favorite soap supplier. This is not sponsored, but if Windy Point soap is watching, I am more than willing to do a sponsored video in the future. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, see, it's kind of blopping in now because it's just too thick, but whatever. We make it work. I made So I made 48 of these soaps. I originally made 24 and then decided that I really needed more. Last year, I only did one Christmas market that was 3 days, and I also took these soaps to a September market. And halfway through, I want to say day two, I don't really remember, but I know I sold out of them during that 3 day market. So this year I'm doing two 3 day markets. One of them is that same one from last year, and I'm doing a 1 day market later in December. So I decided that, yeah, no, I need to make more. So I ended up making 48. Besides these gingerbread men you will see in future videos, I also made some Christmas trees, two types of, well, same fragrance, but two different color snowflakes, as well as oh god, now I'm looking over at my shelf, as well as some cupcakes. I have two fragrances of cupcakes, and then I also on purpose made extra batter every time I was making a Christmas soap, and I made some like children's soaps that probably weigh about 100 to 120 grams. And then I made some little mini soaps because I'm going to do my little soaps for little hands again this year, and they'll be in, I don't know, probably like 50 or 100 gram packages, and They'll be in just a little cellophane package with snowflakes. Same thing that I sold last year, and they'll be a few dollars each. And they were really popular last year, so I figured I'd do it again this year. And if I decide that I don't have enough, last year when I made them, I actually used melt and pour, so that is an option, and I could do them in melt and pour again this year, but we'll see. I do have some in cold process soap, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. Yeah, and I made 48 snowflakes, 24 in blue and teal, 24 in rose gold and silver and white. It's actually gold mica, but it looks rose gold when it's all done, and it's absolutely beautiful. I know that has nothing to do with this video, but you are going to see those videos in the coming weeks. And the cupcakes that I made, I also made videos for, I think. I don't remember if I made a video for the Yuletide pear, which actually came out way better than my pumpkin marshmallow cupcakes because I did a much better job waiting. Well, actually, the fragrance oil accelerated, but it was perfect because my batter for piping was the perfect consistency. Anyway, here we go. So now that I made a mess and got everything into my soap mold, we have the gingerbread men ready, and they're looking pretty good. I think I waited about 3 or 4 days to unmold these, but honestly, like I said, I don't really remember. I know I waited for more than like a day. It was more than 24 hours. And you can see like they're not like super hard, but they're definitely easy to get out of the mold. And they're a little darker than when they were poured, but not too much. And they get much, 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 much darker. They get as dark as the mold is, basically. Oh, what I was gonna say too, with the Christmas trees, I used a blend of fragrance oils that's very woodsy for the Christmas trees, and those Christmas trees stayed super super fluid. So that was good. I will say though with the Christmas trees, and I guess you know what, let's save it for the Christmas tree video. I don't need to reveal all my secrets and all of my tips and tricks that are not even related to the gingerbread man soap. So here's some gingerbread men, and I want to say that I know that I got more gingerbread men too as well. Must be with the second batter, but look, he's kind of mangled, but honestly, he's gonna go in a cellophane bag with a bunch of other little soaps, and nobody's gonna know the difference, and they're not gonna care. So yeah, so I believe I might just quit here. I think I do. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you got all the way to the end here, please, if you feel so inclined, hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And if you have any questions, drop them below. And right here, you're gonna see what these soaps look like, and they do get a little darker. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a fabulous November.